Junie B. Jones is almost a flower girl. Chapter 8. A little tussle. Aunt Flo's wedding took forever to get here. I waited for my whole entire life practically. Then one day at breakfast, Mother told me, "Happy surprise! Well, tomorrow is the big day," she said. And so what do you know? My very first wedding was almost here. That night I could hardly even sleep. I got up bright and early in the morning, and Mother came in my room, and she decorated my hair with a green velvet ribbon, and she helped me get dressed in my flower girl clothes. Pretty soon a lady came to babysit for Ollie. Then me and Mother and Daddy got in our car, and we rode to the church together. And guess what? There was a million bajillion people there already. I hurried up the steps, and I stood on my tippy toes, and I looked all around for Bo. "Where is she, Mother? Where's Bo? Is she sick, do you think? Did her car get stuck in crazy glue? I don't see her anywhere, and so maybe I'll be a flower girl after all." Mother smoothed my hair very nice. "Honey, I've already talked to Aunt Flo today, and she said Bo is feeling fine. She's probably getting dressed with the bridesmaids. Let's be happy for her, okay?" I didn't say anything back, 'cause what's to be happy about? That's what I would like to know. After that, all of us went inside, and a man named Usher held out his arm, and he walked Mother to her church seat. Me and Daddy followed them down the aisle, and guess what? I still didn't trip. 3 ladies smiled at me. I smiled back. "Hello, ladies. See how good I am walking down the aisle? Too bad I'm not the flower girl, right?" My voice sounded loud in the church. I like that kind of loud voice. After I got to my seat, I smoothed my dress very nice. And guess who I saw? I saw my Grandma Helen Miller. She was sitting right in front of me. I tapped on her head. "Grandma Miller, it's me. It's your grandgirl, Junie B. Jones. Look how grown up I am being, Helen." When Grandma smiled and winked, she said, "Don't call her Helen." After that, the organ started to play real loud, and everybody stood up. And then all of us looked at the back of the church, and so what do you know? I saw Bo. She was rocking right down the aisle, and she was throwing pink flower petals on the floor. It looked fun, I tell you. My heart got pumpy and poundy inside, 'cause Bo was coming in my direction, and so that's how come a great idea popped in my head. And it's called, hey, maybe Bo wouldn't mind if I took 1 or 2 petals out of her basket and threw them, 'cause that would be fair of her, I think. Bo kept getting closer and closer and closer, and then all of a sudden, she was right next to me. I quick reached for her flower basket. "No!" shouted Bo. "Yes!" I shouted back. Then I tried to take some petals out of the basket, but Bo pulled it away from me, and so how come I had to pull it right back, and then me and her got into a little tussle. A little tussle is a grown-up word for how come she just won't let go of that darn thing. Then all of a sudden my mother reached over and she pulled my hands right off the basket. Her face was steamy mad. I did a gulp. "Hello, how are you today?" I said, kind of shaky. "I'm fine, only I just wanted 2 petals. 2 little petals. But that plan did not work out, apparently, so now I'll just go behave myself for the rest of the wedding, I think." After that, I smoothed my skirt and fluffed my hair and acted like my best grown-up lady. Chapter 9. Loose Feet. After the church, everybody went to the reception. The reception is a big giant room where you sit at tables and you listen to loud music and you eat food and cake. And then wait till you hear this. The bridesmaid table was the longest table in the whole entire place. I ran right to the end of that huge thing, and guess what? There is a teensy card with my name printed on it. Here, I'm sitting here," I hollered to Mother. Just then I saw Aunt Flo. She was coming over with Bo. Uh-oh. I said, very nervous. Then I quick hid behind my mother's skirt. But Aunt Flo didn't even look mad. She bended down next to me in her beautiful wedding gown, and she held my hand real nice. Junie B., honey, I didn't see what happened in the church, but Bo said you tried to take her basket. Is that true? I shook my head very fast. No, Aunt Flo, I didn't try to take her whole entire basket, I promise. I just wanted 2 teensy petals. That's all, I said. I held up 2 fingers. Just this many, Aunt Flo, just 2. 'Cause Bo got all the rest of the petals, and so 2 would be fair of her, I think. Aunt Flo looked at Bo. Bo, honey, did you hear that? Junie B. only wanted 2 little flower petals. Bo looked shy at me, and then all of a sudden, she reached into her basket and she gave me 2 petals. I smiled real big. Hey, that's a nice gesture of you, Bo, I said. After that, Bo smiled back at me, and Aunt Flo put us into our chairs. Bo asked me how old I am. I sat straight up tall and said, I'm almost 6. I said, very proud. Bo did a sad sigh. Pooh, she said, I'm only 5. I'm always the littlest. Always, always, always. I patted her arm, very understanding. Don't worry, little Bo. Someday you'll be a grown-up lady just like me, I said. Bo did a teeny frown. You're not a grown-up lady, she said. Yes, I am so a grown-up lady, Bo, I said back. Just ask my mother if you don't believe me, 'cause I acted grown-up for the whole entire wedding, almost. Just then I quick put my napkin in my lap. See this, Bo? See how I'm putting this napkin in my lap? If I was a baby, I would tuck it in my collar, but grown-up ladies put them in their laps. I sat up even taller. And see how straight and tall I'm sitting? This is how grown-up ladies sit, I said. We never slouch or slump. After that, I sat very still, and I didn't move a muscle. Now look at me, Bo, I said out of the corner of my mouth. See how still I'm sitting? I'm not even squirming. On account of grown-up ladies do not get ants in their pants. That's why. I folded my hands very politely. Now I'm folding my hands very polite, and I'm waiting for my food. Bo kept on looking at me. The end, I said. After that, I kept sitting there a real long time. That's how come Bo got tired of looking at me, and she started playing with her spoon. She clinked it on her water glass. Also, she clinked it on her plate, and her knife, and her head. Grown-up ladies do not clink their spoons, I said. Bo shrugged her shoulders at me. After that, she made a puppet out of her napkin, and she made it bite my nose. Hey, I said, very surprised. Then I did a quick frown. Grown-up ladies do not play with their napkins, I said. After that, I did a big sigh, 'cause my food was taken 1,000,000 years. That's why. Finally, my legs started to get stiffish and tightish. Also, I got an ant in my pant, and my foot went to sleep. That's how come I had to hop down from my chair and stamp my foot on the floor. Sometimes ladies have to stamp their sleeping feet, I explained to Bo. It is perfectly acceptable to do this. After that, I shaked my foot all around, but it still did not wake up. I looked at Bo. Okay, here's the thing. Sometimes ladies have to skip around the table to get their blood pumping, I said. Really? Said Bo. Yes, I said. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. After that, I started to skip around the table. Only too bad for me, 'cause my new shoes hurt my heels a real lot. Plus also my fancy pantyhose drooped all the way down to my knees. I walked back to my seat, very limping. I looked at Bo again. Sometimes ladies have to go under the table and adjust themselves, I said. Bo looked curious at me. They do? She asked. Of course they do, I said. That's how come they make the tablecloth so long. After that, I ducked under the tablecloth, and I quick took off my shoes, plus I also took off my pantyhose. Better, I said. Then I climbed back onto my chair again and wiggled my piggy toes all around in the air. What a relief, I said. Loose feet. All of a sudden, my eyes got big and wide, and I did a gasp, 'cause that reminded me of what Mother and Daddy told me. Bo! Hey, Bo! I said, real thrilled. Loose feet, get it? I have loose feet. Huh? What? Said Bo. And so that's how I told her all about my boyfriend named Ricardo, and how he wanted to chase other people, and how Mother and Daddy said I should have loose feet. Get it, Bo? Get it? I asked. Mother and Daddy were right. Loose feet are funner than grown-up feet. And after that, I quick got on my knees, and I clinked my water glass with my spoon. Also, I clinked my plate with my fork and my head. Sometimes it's fun to be little. Right, Bo? Right, I said. Me and Bo clinked spoons. Right, she said, real giggly. After that, I made a puppet out of my napkin, and I made it bite Bo's nose. And that's not even the best part, 'cause after lunch, me and Bo skipped around the whole entire room in bare feet, and we throwed flower petals on people's heads, and no one even got mad, 'cause when you're little, you can get away with those kinds of shenanigans. It was the funnest time I ever had. And guess what else? After the reception, me and Bo hugged each other goodbye, and she said she will call me sometime, and I said I will write her a letter. Only first I have to learn to spell more words, I said. Bo shrugged her shoulders. That's okay. First I have to learn to read, she said. And after that, both our daddies picked us up, and they carried us out to the parking lot. Hey, look how high up I am, Bo, I hollered at her. I'm as tall as a grown-up lady, almost. Only grown-up ladies don't even get carried, so too bad for them. Right, Bo? Right? Right, hollered Bo. After that, we waved goodbye at each other. First I waved my hand, then I waved my whole entire arm. Plus I also waved all my 10 piggy toes. I laughed real happy. See, Daddy? See, I've got loose feet just like you said. Then Daddy laughed too, and we sang the Pretty Bride song all the way to the car.